Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to Vlog Media Breeze. I decided to come on here this morning because I got a little bit of information that I actually wanted to share with you. But first of all, welcome to Vlog Media Breeze. This is where we discuss mostly Real Housewives commentaries. I also have an In the News segment that I normally do at about 11:30. Sometimes I do it a little later, like now. And please feel free to get over in the chat and document your thoughts and just to make sure you are heard. And what I'll do to make sure you are heard is I will either post your comment onto the screen or you can click the link and come aboard. You must show your face if you do that. Not show your face when you come aboard, but you will show it while you are in what they call the back room, and then I will bring you up. Okay. So you don't have to show your face once you get up here, but you do need to let me see it while you are in the back room. And I will also, allow you to speak. I'm going to post the link. It depends on how many people come in here. Normally, my Saturdays, or even every time I come in here, it runs like it is now. There's this one person who shows up because they are the hacker. And then they leave and they go and make many other names and they come over into my chat. So I don't know really who's real on here and who is not real. Um, I want to talk about some things here. Just one moment here. Let me go ahead and set this up. I'm sorry. I'm doing something in the background here and trying to get that out of the way. Um, So I see the hacker has reshown themselves here. They come on, they leave to go see what they can do in my system because it's the devil is here, you guys. That's who you are. I see you. You're the only one here. So you know I'm talking to you, right? You left and you came back and you're probably setting up other things, other accounts to come on over here with. Okay. Um, I digress. I do want to share something with you before I get started, you guys, because you know how sometimes, in life you can be going along and really just having a good life. And you are feeling that things are going right and going into a particular direction. And then something happens and things go awry, and life begins a challenge for you. And most of us experience it. I mean, there are people who may not have experienced it, or they may not be at that point in their life where they're going to experience it. But I would say most people experience some bouts of oppression, and it depends on how you take it. Well, I found something in Psalm 62 that I was reading. If you get a chance, you guys, and I know that you will get a chance because God gives us all an opportunity to read his word, but I want you to read Psalm 62 because it is, I guess, because of where I am in my life, it's become such an amazing chapter. I'll share one verse with you, and it's Psalms 62, verse 10. And this talks about whenever you are in an oppressive state or if you're going through something detrimental in your life, okay? It says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Now, depending on where you are in your life, you may or may not understand that verse, but the one thing that stuck out to me because that verse says a whole lot. The one thing that stuck out to me is it says, trust not in oppression. So if people are out here doing things to you, like this demon that is here now with me, who comes over from StreamYard, or maybe even Google or whomever knows, maybe DES, it's one of them. We do know that, okay? Because we've seen the IP that comes over here. Um, but the Bible doesn't want me, God doesn't want me to trust in that because God has power and control over that and he will condemn it in due time. So don't trust in your oppression. What you do is you take it and you lift it all up to God, which brings me to another verse. And it says, trust in the Lord and do good. And that's over on, um, I think it's Psalm 37. Yeah. Psalm 37, verse 3. Trust in the Lord and do good. So that's how you handle your oppression. So I wanted to give that to you as some form of encouragement this morning. And I'm going to digress on that topic. And I want to share something with you, you guys. My real reason for coming over here this morning is I saw something in the papers that I think is so prevalent. And I really believe that we all sometimes, especially if you're in this YouTube world, you can get caught up in your favorite content producers and what they are saying. And really, none of that means anything. It is all pure entertainment. A lot of it is based on the lives of someone else that has nothing to do with the person who has brought forth the content about that person's life or about the stars or pop culture, whomever they are talking about. And also for me, whomever I'm talking about. Um, None of it has anything to do with anything because if we do not have God to secure our lives, we have nothing. We have nothing. And I have been studying the scriptures in depth since about age 25. I raised my children reading the scriptures. They know a lot about the scriptures. And I just think it is so important to pay attention to what's happening now. Politically, I'm not going to say we are in a state where this nation has never been because this nation always goes through what I call ebbs and flows, right? Right now, we are in a downer with Russia, Asia. Our only allies seem to be Europe. I have a lot of knowledge about what is happening. And I know I can't give all of that to you because you may not be ready for it. But the one thing I want to caution you about is to pay attention to what goes on in with Russia right now and read your Bible. This morning, Newsweek is reporting, and the title is Russia Turns Up the Heat on Joe Biden, alludes to masterminded provocation in the Ukraine. And it goes on to say Moscow, which is, I think Moscow is the capital of Russia, I think, okay, has stepped up its claims to the White House. Its claims the White House is stoking the Ukraine crises. Although large scale Russian naval drills this weekend are likely to further shape the rhetoric about a potential conflict. Russia is a bully. Okay, you have to remember Russia has a leader who has allegedly uh literally unlived people for coming against him. He doesn't like freedom. Putin doesn't like freedom. He something's wrong with him. Psychologists need to get together, galvanize, and examine his moves because he is the perfect psycho. He's the perfect psycho. He is equivalent to Hitler and would have done things by now to other people had it not been that the world is positioned where it is. He would be a Hitler, you guys. He has no mercy on other people. He has no care about civil rights. He doesn't care about any of that. It goes on to say on Saturday morning, the Russian embassy in South Africa shared a Politico article that specified a date for a physical assault by Russia on the Ukraine, citing U.S. officials. Then it goes on to say hashtag Biden tells, hashtag US allies that hashtag Russia can attack hashtag Ukraine on the 16th of February. That's this Wednesday. And that's Politico saying that. The mission's tweet said it looks more like the US president is warning the allies of the date of possible US masterminded provocation with the use of military force in the Ukraine. Earlier, Russian Foreign Ministry spokesman Maria Zakharova posted on social media that the hysterics of the White House are more evident than ever, adding that the Anglo Saxon world needs a war at any cost. This is the Russian foreign minister. And I'll spell that last name. It's Maria Zakharova. It spells Z-A-K as in kilo, H as in hotel, A-R as in Romeo, O-V as in Victor, A as in alpha. The Russian foreign minister said the hysterics of the White House are more evident than ever, adding that the Anglo Saxon world needs a war at any cost. She posted that on her Facebook. You can go onto her Facebook and see that. It says, misinformation and threats are a beloved method of solving your own problems, she wrote on her Telegram channel and on Facebook, adding that the American military political machine is ready to go through people's lives again. You guys, this is getting bad. We could all lose our lives if this goes down. But I'm not going to continue reading it. I just wanted to bring it to you. You can go over and read it yourselves. I just wanted to share it with you. This is serious, and I'm telling you guys, you've got to get your lives really straight and in order with the Lord. I don't know why many people are afraid to commit to the Lord. They don't want to give up what they are doing in the world, and you're going to have to give it up. It's either it's either that or go somewhere and die forever if unlife forever, because if this war takes place, that's a big deal. They say North Korea has a missile, and I forgot what the missile is called, but it can take off the whole state of California in less than 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds. The whole daggone state, you guys. It's um and imagine what that would do to the earth if something like that happened. Imagine what that would do. I mean, other places would probably just fall off. It's just I'm just bringing this to you this morning because this is news, and people on YouTube really seem to be ignoring that because they are more into the Wendy Williams saga, which I'm also going to cover on here, okay, shortly. But they're more into that saga than they are what is taking place between our countries. And this is why we so badly need younger people who are in their late 30s, because you can be in your late 30s and run for president, who are, political science master's degrees, have their doctorals, attorneys who are of that age group and married, because I know with the president of the United States, one of the stipulations is that he or she be married. And we need you to run for office. We need you to run for office in your listen, if I was younger, I would definitely do it right now. I'm just like, no, I ain't got time. And you will find as you get older, when you get in your 50s and you get more settled, you're going to be like, listen, I'm just going to do some things to enjoy my life. Let someone else run the country. Uh, I'll vote, but that's it. Okay. Um, but I hope this wasn't too harmful to your ears this morning. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because it is something that is really happening. And so look on the 16th in your news and just see what goes down. Be in tune with God, you guys, because if anything does go down, you want to at least be prepared. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying we should always be prepared, right? I digress. I'm going to move forward. Okay. I want to talk about Wendy Williams and Wells Fargo because there are some things going on there that are really, uh, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? And do you guys want me to drop the link so you can also come aboard and talk as well? But I want to read something to you. I downgraded my StreamYard because I have like 889. I'm going to wait until I get above 1,000 to upgrade it again. It makes no sense for me to continue being a paid member of StreamYard if I'm not monetized. It just doesn't make sense, okay? Um it says here, and this is February the 12th. I don't know what in the world is going on with this, but it's Saturday, February the 12th. Um, Wendy Williams has filed a temporary restraining order against Wells Fargo in order to access her cash. So she's filed a restraining order against them. Okay. According to Williams, filings to the court, the bank's move reportedly came after Williams' former financial advisor alleged that Williams was of unsound mind. I want to pause here and tell you that if you go over to my other channel, I'm going to put it here in the chat. It's called Blog Spear Talk. In case you're wondering how I came up with that, you have to do a search on Blog Spear Talk. I did a commentary on that channel about Wells Fargo and Wendy Williams. I used to work for Wells Fargo, and I kind of give you some of the inside scoop on what I went through with Wells Fargo over on that channel and why I believe that Wells Fargo is a crook. They're crook. They have incompetent people working for them at all levels, you guys. When you're on the inside, you're like I was like, okay, I know for a fact that you guys did a full federal and criminal. I mean, and the federal background checks, you guys can take a month um, on each employee. So they do a thorough background check. And when I was inside, I felt like looking at some of the people who were hired, I was like, well, did they ignore their own background checks? Because I was like, okay, I know I'm clean and you brought me on. I know that, right? But I'm looking at some of these other people, and all you had to do was Google them, and there were mug shots everywhere. I'm like, does Wells Fargo do a full on federal background check and then they just ignore their own background checks? It working there, that's what I thought. That was what was going on with me, and I experienced that internally. That being said, it doesn't surprise me that they have not even fired Lori, what is her name? Schillinger or whatever her name is, Schiller, whatever her name is. I cannot remember the name. She is the Wells Fargo financial advisor who was overseeing Wendy's account. And she was probably literally living off of Wendy's account. Really, you guys, the Wells Fargo advisors, they make really good money even if they are not handling a Wendy Williams type of account. They do pretty well. Uh, there were people who came in with me who were itching to get over there. They were doing all the things internally that they could to get over there. And so I'm saying that to say to you that the woman should be terminated. She did something that the bank really sees as unethical in their own handbook. What she did, and I read their whole handbook when I was there, unless they have edited it. what she did is grounds for dismissal from the company. So why is the company not dismissing her? And I am talking from an insider perspective and what I knew when I worked there. And I don't care if they know that I'm saying this. When you go over to my other channel, Vlog Spirit Talk, and you see what I say about Wells Fargo, you will understand why I really I don't give two cares about what I say about them. Okay. I'm not going to give you the full inside scoop here because that's over there. Um, but it just shocked me that they still have this person on board working for them. And it sounds like she allegedly did something unethical with that account. And it was certainly unethical for her to say that Wendy is not of sound mind. I want to share something with you that a lot of channels, including Sherelle's World, because I listened to her on this, a lot of the people are missing. A lot of people come on YouTube and they give their opinion, they give their thoughts and everything, and they are not qualified to give some of those thoughts. They come on acting like they are doctors, lawyers, nurses, um, and they're not qualified to give those things. For example, people are talking about Wendy's mental health, regardless of whether or not, um, regardless of whether or not uh, Wells Fargo thinks she is of unsound mind. It is illegal for them to publish that. It is illegal for a company to uh, orate your medical information. So Wendy needs to do a secondary lawsuit about that. No one is supposed to be, no one who has inside story about her should be talking about her medical information, and to have people publish that she is of unsound mind, and even to have a newspaper to go as far as to publish it. No one, even Debmar Mercury, her employers over there at the channel, she should sue them for saying stuff like that. They are being highly unethical. You're not supposed to put things like that out there about your employees. You're not supposed to do that. That is illegal. Um, let's see. Vicky says Wells Fargo are frauds. How did they tried to steal your home? Okay, that's weird because I worked in home equity and loans there. So let's see here. They tried to steal your home. Oh, you know what? There are all kinds of loans out there, right? They even have a loan where I forgot what it's called, but it's kind of if you are elderly and you've been in your home a certain amount of years, the process is the loan goes backwards, but it goes into the hands of the bank. And oh my gosh, I don't I cannot remember how the loan goes, so I'm going to digress on that. But it was just a weird process. The loan goes backwards and it goes back into the hands of the bank, and it's almost like you're borrowing again from the bank, but you don't pay as much on interest, but the bank owns your home again. This is for elderly people who may have paid off their homes, but they're struggling financially. So what happens is they take that loan backwards. It goes in a backward spiral, and it's not like you are borrowing against the home or anything like that. You're really borrowing against yourself. It's just a whole messed up loan. They you can do anything you want to with a loan. If you get the right underwriter, you can do anything you want to with a loan. I learned that working there. It's just pathetic. So Choke No Joke has Wendy's lawyer's email and spoke on Wendy's behalf. And it goes to court. Yeah, it does go to court next week. I've been listening to Choke No Joke as well, who is smart as hell. Because you look at him, he opens his video with all this rap and then ends with the rap. And I'm not real big on certain types of tones of rap, so I don't really. I'm more of a. Even though I like Jay Z, I like Kanye. Run DMC was back in the day. I kind of like those types of rappers. I don't like this hardcore rap where you have to do all this swearing. But I like Jay-Z's because of the music. I normally like it has like a lot of soul to it. So I usually like his that way. Like a little bit of 50 Cent too. Even though it doesn't mean anything about his person. I think he was so disrespectful to Vivica for a long time. I didn't like that. But I digress on that. Um so So, Vicky, how did they try to steal your home? Do you want to tell about that? Or if you don't, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue and just share with you. It says here on Friday, financial advisors at the bank told Fox News Digital that the company's only goal was to ensure the Wendy Williams show host is able to make payments to entities she regularly has made them to, despite what her camp is stating on the record about her being fine in response to reportedly being labeled as an incapacitated person. You see this language they're putting out there about her? That's another lawsuit. She needs to sue their ass bad. I know I shouldn't be cursing on here. She needs to sue their A double S bad. Vicky, you say we were about $1,000 away from paying off our home. I moved out. My hubby was fixing the house up and they broke in, tried to take our house. What do you mean they broke in? Are you saying Wells Fargo broke in your house? They don't even do that kind of business. They don't have investors who do that sounds like what do you call those people who try to fix up your house? That sounds like they were involved. They may have gotten a Wells Fargo loan to go in to redo your house, but that if they broke in, that wasn't Wells Fargo breaking into your home. That sounds ludicrous to me. That doesn't sound right. I hope you're not making up things in my chat. um, Granted, they are crooked. They're not going around doing the type of crooked things like breaking in someone's home. That's interesting if they did that. That's like gangsta, some real gangsta stuff. Um, they have real suits walking around there, so they look real. Okay, it's a fine looking bank. Okay, but when you work there and you see the inner workings of it, it's you're like something else is happening here. Um, And their managers are not always ethical, you guys. The people that they put in leadership on the lower level are not always ethical. So I digress on that. Um, I did drop the link for anyone who wants to, you know, come on if you want to have a conversation about that. I just wanted to say that they are saying things about Wendy that really should not be said. Um, they're saying that they are that in one place you're talking about her being incapacitated, and then the next place you're talking about you're only concerned about her well-being. The bank is concerned about their well-being. They were making a lot of money off of Wendy, and Wendy shouldn't have put all her eggs in one basket. Really, she should not have done that. And always do your research on the banks that you're dealing with. Okay, what was that? um It says Wells Fargo's priority is the financial well being of Miss Williams and the preservation of her privacy. The statement reads, this is their statement: as we have expressed to the court, Wells Fargo is open to working with Miss Williams' counsel to release funds directly to her creditors for bills historically and regularly paid from her account. Here is a Black woman who has worked decades to have what she has. And now she is suddenly um having the bank come on and take control of her account. When have they ever done that to anyone, you guys? I'll wait. When have they ever done that to anyone? They act as if they own Wendy Williams and as if she's a black woman who doesn't deserve this kind of money. This money was in our bank. We're going to take control of it because we're white and she's black and she doesn't deserve it. It's not hers. She's a slave. That is what I'm getting off of Wells Fargo. I can't stand them MFers, you guys, with all due respect. I can't stand them. Okay, so Vicky, you want to come up? I want to bring you up, but I want to also um I don't know if I can or not, but I want to see. Can you show your face real quickly? Hi. Oh, hi. You're beautiful. Hi. Okay, now you can go back. I'll go ahead and bring you on. I want to hear what you have to say, okay? Let me bring you on. Just one moment here, Vicky. I don't know why it's okay. Here it is.
Hi,
Okay.
how
Hi,
are
Vic.
you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I met you through I found your channel through Cups last night when she was playing a little bit of your clip. And all day I had been watching your videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I so happened to pick up my phone and I said, "Oh my gosh, she's live."
Yes,
And
I'm live.
I'm learning to love myself. Me and her, we've been in a lot of chats together.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I just wanted to speak on Wells Fargo. Wendy is my girl as well. I have a lot to say about a lot of things that's going on YouTube, but as far as
Mm-hmm.
me and my husband, we owned a home, and we were like
Mm-hmm.
about $1,000 from paying on it.
Mm-hmm.
We moved out of the home and came to another home, so he was going to fix up that home. We didn't know whether we wanted to sell it or rent it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the home was there for a minute and he would go as in because my husband got really ill, so he couldn't go to work on the home as much. But we lived in that house for over 20 years. So we were very close with our neighbors. I got a call. It was my neighbor and she said, "Miss Vicky, somebody was trying to get in your house." It was two men. They couldn't get in through the front door. They took a ladder and went up through my second floor window and went in the house. She called me. She said, when she called me, I said, "Okay, I'm calling the police." I called the police, but we live in the Northeast. So I said, just give my husband, just if the police comes, just if Ray's not there, let them know that he's on his way. Thank God by the
Mm-hmm.
time my husband got there, the police got there at the same time and the two men were still in the house. So my
Mm-hmm.
husband told him that this is his house and blah, blah, blah. And they broke in the house. They were trying to get in through the front door, but they couldn't get in. So, when the police got there, they questioned him or what have you. My husband had to show them proof who he was and that he was the actual, owner of the house. So, the two guys said that they were sent there from their employers and they were there to lock up the house. They were there to take
They
over the house.
Wait, the 2 guys who were there said they were sent there by their employers?
They were sent there by their employers. Okay.
Who were their employers?
Wait a minute. So
Mhm,
we had to go to the police station so that we can file a report. When we got to the police station, we gave them all information because we had to show them proof that we were the owners and everything of the house. So when we got down to the police station, the detective told us that you need to contact your mortgagers because it's your mortgage company. And at the time, it was Wells Fargo. So they
Are
had a
you
scheme.
kidding me?
Yes, they had a scheme where if you had homes and they thought that they were empty or whatever, they were going around snatching up your homes. Yes, that happened to me. It was Wells Fargo. I'm telling you, Wells Fargo, I used to bank with them all the time. Then I had my granddaughter's bank accounts with them. And then they started going up with all these fees. So I went in there. I said, well, what are all these fees for? And they would tell you, if you
Mhm.
don't have this certain amount, we're going to charge you for this and we're going to charge you for that. And I said, well, you know what you do? You just shut all those bank accounts up and just give me what money that I have in here, and I went to the credit union and I've been fine ever since. I don't deal with them.
I know I
They are
have credit
crooks
union too. I have 2. I yes, I don't I regular banks, even and there's another bank that I really, really, like, and I would like to deal with them, but I just refuse to do it. But what were they going to gain by sending their employees there from
because
the
where
what
the state, the city that I lived in, they had some kind of connection where they were stealing people's homes. Like right now, they done got caught. Like when you pay your taxes, it was the
mhm.
person who was in charge. They had it. They had some type of connection where they were stealing people's homes. And Wells Fargo, they had gotten into a lot of trouble. It was a big thing.
I remember them having an issue with the mortgage,
Yeah, they were,
there was a mortgage crisis
and
with
they
them.
weren't even my original. They weren't even our original mortgages. It was we had been with our one mortgager, and then it was like as soon as we got ready, time to pay the house off,
Uh-huh, they sold it to Wells Fargo.
they sold it to Wells Fargo. And
Mhm.
they actually, if it came from the police, I'm like, because I called my mortgage company, and they were like, no, it's not us. We don't. They act like they didn't even know what I was saying. And when I went down, when I had to go to the detectives, he said, listen, call your mortgage company.
So the detective kept saying, "Call your mortgage company,"
He
so
said,
that meant
call your
it was
mortgage company.
correct.
Yes. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't
The
play with it.
detectives
When I come on YouTube, I don't come on YouTube to play around. I'm an honest person. I believe in the Lord. I see a lot of crazy stuff that's going on and it's deceiving. And I know everything that you're talking about. But I do disagree
yeah.
with you on one thing.
Tell me.
Cardi B.
Okay. A lot of times when you see me do a commentary, I'm in that moment, and if something else happens, I leave open the opportunity to change to modify, right?
Hmm.
But tell me your thoughts about Cardi B and what it is you disagree with me on.
Okay. I see Cardi B and Tasha K. Um, Cardi B was young. We were all young. She's still young. She's only 29 and she's just like as you said, I agree with you. You see a change in her. She want to be someone different. Especially now that she's had these children and she loves her husband. She
Mhm.
loves her husband and she's a young girl. She had a rough life. Yes, the things that they've had a rough life with, I think I had a rough life, but when you hear somebody else's life, you're like, wow. But I'm just so happy to see both of them are queens because they both came from rough areas, and to
Mhm.
be where they are today, it's just fantastic. But it's
Mhm.
just the evilness of it all. I mean, like when the girl called you and said, "Can you stop?" And when she sent the cease and desist letters, I mean, it's just it was just so filthy. Like when I got on YouTube and heard the things that people say, I'm like, oh my God, these people mouths are horrible. So can you imagine how I feel about hearing that stuff? And then you went inside that federal courthouse with that mess.
Yes, exactly.
You got to
You
think
know
about
what?
all of that.
I think one of the things I have learned in my life, at least, is that money should never be your motivator to change.
Right.
If
Money
money
is the
is your
root to the
motivator
evil.
to change, yeah, for the love of money is the root of all evil, right? So it's okay to
Hmm.
have money, but if it is your motivator in terms of changing your character, that's not going to last long. And I really think that with Cardi B, money is her motivator. So she's
Right.
not changing because she sees the need to change or she sees something in her that she wants to be. She really would prefer to be that female gangsta and run up on people and continue to do the things that she does. But she knows if she does that, her money is going to be delayed. So money's her motivator. And I just disagree
No,
with
can
that.
I disagree with that? I think that was her thinking when, before that was her gangster days and all of that. But now she's
Mhm.
maturing out of that. So I don't
Well,
think,
I like Cardi. I
I
like her.
do.
I
I
have a
like
really,
her.
yeah.
I don't agree. Like I said, hey, get it how you had to get it, but you got it, and look at where you are. You're both are queens,
I
but
don't think she would do those same things though. I
she
think that,
she
or at
won't
least I
because I
hope.
seen the change
Yeah,
of her when she was on. I
yeah.
met her. People known her before on Instagram and all that, but I met her on Love and Hip Hop, and she was funny,
Yeah.
and when she was feisty, and when she got on that reunion, and she told what's the little the creep boys, the creeps out.
Rich and
Yeah,
look,
when she
those are
told
my
Richard,
guys.
um,
Look, I
yeah,
love Rich and Peter. Yeah, Rich and Peter.
when she
I
got
don't
with
care for the
them,
other one. I don't care for the other one, but I like
yeah,
Rich and Peter. Hmm.
I know who you're talking about. He's on there, the one
Yeah,
that's
because
on
he's
there now with
violent.
them.
I can't get down with violence. If you are not
Yeah,
smart enough to communicate to me what is going on with you, I'm not interested because
yeah,
you're not going to hit my pretty chocolate face. You're just not going
that's
to do
right.
that. You know, and you're not going to mess up any limbs on me because I'm getting older and I like using my limbs as much as possible. So, so
And
if we
some of
can't
us had
talk,
those older limbs. I'm 60 and I'll be just trying to make it.
yeah.
They
So it's like
freeze
if
up
you,
on me.
yeah,
Arthur, don't
I've
play
always
with me.
I've always been that way. I've always entertained a really good civil and academic debate.
Hmm.
I love research and talking about the things that I know and the things that you know, and we can fight it out that way. But
Yes.
or we can fight it out in court because I am civil.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm
when
not.
you,
This is just an opinion, and this is all allegedly, even though we know what's going on.
yes, yeah, yeah. So,
But
well,
yeah,
thank
but I
you.
just think that she's young, and she's 29. Tasha's what, 39? That's a great big difference.
Yes, that is a
And
big difference.
you know better. You know better, and
Yes,
I don't know what the problem is with these girls. Look at they
it's
all are
jealousy, Vicky.
talented. It's jealousy
It's
and it's
jealousy. It is jealousy.
hurt people. And you should not be jealous of her because you're a
Yeah.
YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, and oh my God, you're doing so well, but you just have to stop lying. You guys
But
lie
here's
too
the
much.
thing. Let me share this with you. Here's the thing. It, I, I believe sometimes the what you're getting from people is that their past hurt is causing that reaction. I don't believe that is always the case. A lot of people say hurt people in every situation. That's
Mhm.
not always the situation. I separate jealousy because people are sometimes innately jealous and they
Mhm.
are innately jealous. They have not overcome their own insecurities and that jealousy has stayed with them. I like Tasha K's channel, but that doesn't mean I like every single thing about Tasha K. Tasha
Right,
K is
right.
she is exhibiting a jealous heartedness
Jealousy.
of Cardi, and I believe that Nicki Minaj is as well.
Yeah.
They're showing that they are jealous of her instead of reaching out and trying to be a support of this young woman. They are ex- extolling their jealousy on her. They don't know that they're jealous. Jealous people will not ever admit that they are jealous because
Wow.
they like to think that they are secure. I
Wow.
always liken it to Cain and Abel. Cain was jealous of Abel. Jealousy
Mhm.
is what killed Abel.
Mhm.
That is why my grandparents used to always say, if someone is jealous of you, you stay completely away from them because they are capable of anything at any moment. That
Don't you
and they are
know it?
yeah, and even your friends. There are people who
Mhm.
befriend you just because
Mhm.
they want something you got or they want to bring you down and they know the only way to bring you down is to get close to you. That's where that statement
Mhm.
keep your
Absolutely.
friends close, but your enemies closer. I don't do that. If you're
Mm-hmm.
an enemy, you can't get close to me. Stay on your side. We're enemies. There's no reason for me to hold you
I
near
just
and
keep
dear.
my eyes open a little wider for
Yes,
you.
yes. Keep my eyes open a little wider, but you can't. No, I'm not keeping you closer. Um,
Yeah.
but thank you for coming up and
Oh, I
sharing your
enjoy speaking with
ideas.
you. This is my second
Yeah.
time I ever got on. I just
Oh,
said
really?
I really enjoyed you. I mean, and it was someone on my level. You said you're 58, and you said I was born in the 60s, and I was like, oh yeah, I can compete with her. And I sat here all morning long, and just because I had to see where you were coming from, because Cup said y'all go watch her channel. So I
Yeah.
even wrote it down last night, but I had my grandbaby. My husband's in the hospital, so I was at the hospital. Then I came home and I babysitted my great grandbaby. And she woke up early in the morning. I said, "Oh, I'm taking you home. I'm not even waiting for your mother." I dropped her off and I came right here starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was watching your channel.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now I have to go over the cups. I saw that she was a member of here. I have to go over to her channel and see what she said then. Um,
Last night,
I
oh,
like
because
cups.
we
I like
we was
her.
all in the what happened with All About the Tea, and I watched you with that, with All About the Tea, and I was saying, and I hear you saying that Google is stopping you from doing things, and because of the things that's going on. And I was like, well, why would they want to bother this beautiful, intelligent woman?
Well,
And
I
then when
did
you
something
mentioned
to
that, I
them.
said, uh-oh, I connected the dots.
Yes, yes. So, but I did. I'm trying to rectify it now. I don't like how they are keeping my channel from being seen because there's not a channel that has as many. If you're on after a certain period of time, you're
Hmm.
going to automatically get a certain amount of viewers, live viewers,
Hmm.
right? And they are withholding that from me.
Really?
Yes, they are. Yeah, even like now, I've been on here uh, for a while now, so I've been on here like 48 minutes now, so I should literally have at least 100 people on my channel live at this hour in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Um,
Well,
and
Cups
that,
gave you a shout out, so hopefully all of our people will come over to you and subscribe to you as well. And
well, thank you.
because it was, look, I ran right over to you, and I see Learning to Love Myself is there, and she don't fool with a
I
whole lot
see.
of people as well.
Yeah,
So,
I see. Well, thank you all. Thank you for coming aboard and having a chat with me. I'm gonna get ready. I try to keep it to like an hour, and I came on. I wanted to do the Wendy Williams because I'm. What do you think about Wells Fargo exposing her her medical
the whole
abilities? The
thing is
company
a
is not
mess.
supposed
This
to
Wendy
do that.
Williams situation right now is a mess. And she's going to have to come out herself. Well, she's going to. I think that if she's okay, you know, well enough to handle her business, I think she needs to come out and handle her business, because this doesn't make any sense. Does this have anything to do with her ex-husband? Because all of these people are from her from back in years. So I've never heard of a bank having this much authority over your money.
Well, she has. Wendy's worth $60 million for people who do not
Whew.
know,
And she
and
left. Well, I
that's
can't even
net.
believe she's with Wells
She's worth
Fargo,
60
the crooks
million.
of all.
Yeah, net. I I think that she disliked Oprah so much that she didn't really take advice from Oprah. Oprah, people keep saying Wendy's the queen. Oprah is the queen.
Yeah,
She will
yes,
always
she
be the
is.
queen. Okay.
Yes, she
Phil
is.
Donahue is the king of talk show. Oprah is the
Hmm.
queen. Okay.
Back in
And
our day.
well, yeah, and even still today, I mean, it's just
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
Franklin will always be the queen of soul.
Hmm.
Wendy is not the queen of talk shows. Oprah is, and
No.
Oprah used to do not only celebrity gossip, but she also did things that were near and dear to people's hearts, and she had politicians on. So she had a well-rounded show. Wendy mostly only did hot topics.
Hmm.
That's what people were listening to her for. And she
The
did a
hip
great
hop, the
job with it.
R&B.
Yeah, she did a great job with it. Um, but she's not the queen of
Yeah.
of of it all. Definitely not the queen of it all.
It was
And I
Oprah because
digress
Imma
on
tell
that.
you, when Oprah came on with her talk show, you know, she opened my mother and myself's hearts up to see things because she had a lot of shows that was just so interesting, and it opened up all of our lives of things that we were hiding or what we were going through. And it was
Hmm.
Oprah who did that, who brought, you know, my mother and myself closer together, or made my mother realize some things that she had, you know, had been going through. And then she was able to open up to me. We've always been close, but she was able to open up to me. And, you know, and I will watch Oprah too as well. You know, I live in this
Well, one of the things that
Pennsylvania.
One of the things that Oprah did with a lot of people in Hollywood was she let them know you should sign your own checks. And
Mm,
I think that Wendy was giving too much to that Wells Fargo advisor. I don't know what made her think that she could trust someone else just because they work
mm.
for the bank. And if you look at my channel, Vlogsphere Talk, I can tell you about things that were going on
Oh, I
in
have
the
to go
bank.
over there.
Yeah, and you shouldn't just trust somebody just because they work for the bank, okay?
Mm-mm.
Um, so I think that Wendy needed to get a better handle on her own money, and she should not have I think she gave Kevin too much leverage.
Oh,
And the other thing I'm trying to
oh.
understand, the laws go backwards with celebrities. Normally, if a man cheats or the woman cheats, depending on who cheats, that is the person who's going to be lost. You don't have to pay that person alimony.
Mm-mm.
Normally,
That's
like Kevin
adultery.
cheated. Yeah, no, well, it's in the laws. In most state
Mhm.
laws, you don't have to pay your husband alimony if he cheated. So why is she
Mm,
giving him $10 million a month? That's
I
crazy.
don't know. I
She
don't
should not
know.
be paying him.
I
That's
don't know.
yeah,
You
that's
know, Wendy
ridiculous.
was a
That's
fool for her
illegal
husband.
almost.
She loved her husband, so you know that part I would never. You know, she. You know, when we
Yeah.
in love with our husbands or our men, you know, we believe and we do anything. You know,
No, but I'm talking
so
about after the divorce. I
yeah.
understand that. I love my
I don't
husband.
know.
I
I don't
understand that.
understand
I
why
wouldn't
right
give
now
if he
she's not
cheated on me,
working.
he's not getting $10, let alone 10 million. If he cheats on me, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
understand. I can't understand why
yeah.
she's having to pay him and she's not making as much money. It should be lowered.
Yeah. Well, I want to address this. What I was saying earlier, you cannot violate a HIPAA law unless you are a medical employee. So Wells
Mm,
Fargo did not violate a HIPAA law, but they violated there is another law with regards to companies who expose employees' medical history and stuff like that without being subpoenaed, and that
mm,
is supposed to be exposed in the court. Now, they were not subpoenaed. They gave that information to the media, and they should not
mm,
have
mm,
done that.
mm.
Whether it's true or not, they should not have
Yeah.
done that. So that's my concern. They're talking about her medical, about her being incapacitated. Uh, they need to fire that young woman. First of all, even me being a former employee there, had I done what she done as a Wells Fargo advisor, and had I worked in that capacity, just say even on an account that was not worth millions,
Mhm.
they would have had to fire me for putting that
So
out there to
she's
the
still
media
there?
and for taking over that account. From what I understand, she's still there. Wendy
Oh,
was removing her money from Wells Fargo, and at about the same time as Wendy was removing her money, that's when they closed up her accounts from her.
mm,
That's
mm,
when the young
mm,
lady went in and said all that stuff to her.
mm,
So HIPAA laws can only be violated by an employee of a hospital, a doctor's office, a nurse, people who are working in the medical field who have access to your records. That's what HIPAA is about. However, there are laws that protect you uh, whenever you have accounts elsewhere where you've had to reveal that information, like to a bank. The bank is not supposed to expose that. And so
mm,
that's
mm.
another lawsuit on its own that Wendy needs to handle. People need to know the law. They need
Yeah.
to know when you're dealing with a bank, you need to know what the bank can and cannot do to you. But thank you so much, Vicky, for coming
Okay.
up. I'm going to get ready and
Thank you. And you have a
get out of
beautiful
here.
Saturday. And another thing is, when you talk about Google, you know that that's already, and we need to get together and talk to our Congress and our senators and call them about this Google mess.
Yeah, there are a lot of Black YouTubers on Google, and they will say it on their channel, but they will not do anything about it. They talk about how Google is holding back their numbers. I have a favorite YouTuber. I'm not going to say her name because every time I say who my favorite YouTuber is, I find out that Google has gone over and done something to them. But I
Mm,
have a really a YouTuber that I just adore her, and she's in her 30s as well, young married woman, and she has been on long before Tasha K. She was on a couple of years before Tasha K. Her channel is just under 100,000. So how is it that she's been on longer than Tasha K and her channel I think she gained some traction from a video that she commented on about Tasha K recently, but it's still under 100,000. So she's gone on to start her own website, which was very smart, which is what we're working on for me as well. I'm going to do
mm,
my own website, but if I do my own website, I'm not going to use Google for any of the I may use Apple and someone else or some of the other search engines, but I'm not going to use uh, Google because I don't like the way that they have
right. Have you ever
intervened
thought about starting a
in my welfare.
podcast?
Um, I have a podcast actually, but and it's on Spotify, and I found out that Google on Spotify, so I may take it down.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so they own everything. There needs to
Mm.
be what I would like to see, and this is no slight to Google because they've done an excellent job with the internet, and I like that they're here. I just don't like the way I'm being
We're
treated,
being treated.
which the way I
We're
like the
being
way I
treated.
yeah we're being treated. But overall, I love what they've done with the
Yeah.
internet, right? What
Yeah.
I would like to see is because there are a lot of young black men who are involved in technology. I would like to see them do become competitors of Google.
Right.
I would like to see
Right.
them do that. Yeah, I would like to see them
Right.
galvanize and create technology that makes them a competitor of Google, and to do it right by all people and not
Right.
try to keep out the ideas of a certain group of people just because they
Right.
talk about certain topics that you don't
Yes.
agree with.
That would be
So I'd like to
awesome. And
see them.
they're intelligent enough to do that because these guys are
Yeah,
awesome on this YouTube. I'm like, oh my goodness.
yeah, we did a good job raising our kids in that respect, but
Yeah.
then there
They
are
just
other
have to
respects
learn to
as well.
come together and love one another a little more and stop being so disrespectful.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. But thank you so much, Vicky. I'm
All
gonna
right,
go
sweetheart.
shopping. I
We
have
hanging up for real. It was a good time. Have a great
okay.
day. Bye,
Come
learning to
back.
love
Come
myself. I
back.
love you.
Bye. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for showing up. It is like now 59 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I wanted to come on. I wanted to, I don't know if all of you got to hear about the, uh, what I said about Russia and everything, but I talked about that in the beginning. And I also talked about Wendy Williams and Wells Fargo. And I also referred you to my other channel, Vlog Spear Talk, where that's more of a workplace chat channel. And I started it because I want people to come over and, talk about their work experiences and that kind of thing. So thank you for coming by. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember for to remind your spirit, peace, love, and many blessings to you. Bye bye.